In the early hours of the 20th of September 2015, 24-year-old Fidel Lopez performed the most unspeakable acts to his 31-year-old girlfriend Maria Nemeth after she twice shouted out her ex-partner's name while having sex in the closet. Maria and Fidel met at a nightclub. Maria had recently separated from her estranged husband after an 8-year marriage, and Fidel had been living with the mother of his 2 small children when he met Maria. As things progressed between them, they moved into a new apartment together at the Colonnade apartment complex, located at 1630 Northwest 128th Drive in Sunrise, Florida, where Maria also worked as a leasing manager. Earlier that night, Fidel returned home after working as a mechanic at the Florida 595 truck stop. Maria was preparing chicken with rice and beans for dinner, which they took to Maria's mother's home in Miami to share. A little later, Maria and Fidel went to a restaurant near their home and had a couple of margaritas. They then stopped by a wine and spirit shop and purchased a large bottle of tequila and went back to their apartment. The place hadn't been furnished yet, as they had only been there for about a week, so they improvised and grabbed a couple of cardboard boxes to use as a table. They then poured themselves tequila shots while listening to some music on a phone. They consumed about half a bottle of alcohol before things got heated, and they engaged in drunken sex in the closet. During intercourse, Maria twice yelled out her ex-lover's name. This infuriated Fidel, and it sent him into a fit of rage. He started destroying the apartment, shattering the sliding glass door, punching holes in the wall, and ripping off the wardrobe door. He returned with a beer bottle and a hair straightening iron, and he viciously ravaged her vagina. He shoved them inside of her as hard as he could, before penetrating her with both of his fists. He then forced one of his arms so far into her body that he grabbed hold of her intestines and started ripping them out. As she was being disemboweled alive, bits of flesh fell to the ground and blood smeared the floor and walls. She began losing consciousness and eventually passed out. Fidel then went outside for a cigarette, and when he returned at around 3:39 a.m, he noticed that Maria wasn't breathing, so he contacted the police. He screamed frantically at the dispatcher on the phone, saying that she's not breathing and that she's going to die. Within minutes, officers arrived at the apartment, where they found Fidel crying and kneeling next to Maria's mutilated and disemboweled naked frame. As he tried shaking her awake, blood continued to flow from her body. She was pronounced dead at 4:02 a.m, and according to a medical examiner's report, she died from severe blood loss after being eviscerated. Fidel was arrested and taken to the police station for questioning. He was shown the graphic crime scene photos at the apartment and quizzed him about what happened. He claimed he was too drunk to remember what made him so angry. He said that they both had made up and had rough sex inside the closet, and they somehow ended up in the bathroom where she vomited. He said that he remembers seeing glass on the floor, but can't remember when he broke it or why he broke it. He said that's when he went out for a smoke and came back and found Maria unresponsive. Investigators pressed Fidel for answers, saying that his story doesn't explain why Maria's intestines were all torn out. They said to him, "There's something you're leaving out between the closet and the bathroom, and it's burning you up because of what's happened, and you're trying to block it out of your mind. You need to be honest and tell us. If you really love and care for this girl and you have a heart, you'll tell us what happened so we can have some closure for her." He then opened up and said that he was upset that she twice called out her ex-partner's name while they were having sex. He explained that she changed his name and she was wrong and was confusing him for her ex-lover. Out of anger, he trashed the place and started inserting various objects inside of her. He said he pushed his arm in her all the way up to his elbow before ripping her insides out. He said that if he was sober, he might have just left the apartment, but he was drunk. He said that he then carried Maria to the bathroom and put water on her face, but she didn't wake up. He said he then washed the blood off his hands and went outside for a smoke before he started panicking. "I was so fucking nervous, man," he told investigators. "I wasn't thinking, man. I wasn't thinking," he said. After confessing, he asked one of the investigators, "I know I'm going to jail, but I have 2 kids, you know. How many years do you think this is going to cost me?" Fidel pleaded guilty to murder on the 3rd of August 2017, and he was sentenced to life in prison.